game. It got 23 points from Rex Sterling, and he had 14 at the break, so 9 big second half points with a few of them coming late. So he led the team in scoring with 23 points, 13 from Cameron Dowse, his first double-digit point game of the season, 11 from Ben Yambi, 8 coming from Freedom Leon, 5 in from Tyson Inget, 3 from Ian Johnson, 4 from Grady Feller, 2 from Tyler Best to round out the scoring, 69 total for the Tetons in the game. We're going to have now the Williston Auto player of the game as the women are warming up. They'll be up against Briercrest. Of the game for the Teton men's basketball win over Mayville State, and that's going to go over to Rex Sterling, his second time receiving player of the game nod here in this 2023-2024 campaign. So congratulations to Rex in his 23 points that he put up to help get the Tetons the win, and now they are up to 2-2 on the season, so they are at 500 with a chance tomorrow to get one game above before they get into some more conference play. So congratulations to Rex and the Tetons on the win. 15 and a half minutes left to go on the clock before the women's game against Briercrest. We're going to take a 10-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll get you going for the women's game here from the Well in Williston. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Village. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and feed it like a rented mule. No animals are in sex range while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
There goes my home again. Here comes the hurt back in. You think I've learned by now to let you go? With just one look from you, my heart starts beating blue. Just when it's on to me, there comes my home again. Tried to talk it out around you. My heart has a mind of its own. It won't forget you like I'm supposed to. I wish it would leave you alone. There goes my heart again. Here comes the hurt back in. You think I've learned by now to let you go? With just one look from you, my heart starts beating. Just when it's on me, there goes my heart again. Fine for a little while.
packed her suitcase, drove off in the brand new car I bought her. Made leaving me look easy, wish she made it look a little harder. I took her out of Texas, and she was just a girl. But old Tennessee and me couldn't take Texas out of her. Oh, how I wish Dallas was in Tennessee, so I could lose Texas easy. Then she'd be here with me, and then nothing else would come between the two of us. If Dallas was in Tennessee. By now she's leaving Memphis, everything we had behind her. Lord, I hope the old band on her hand serve as a reminder. True love is a treasure very seldom found. You can't stay together, there's no common ground. Oh, how I wish Dallas was in Tennessee, so I could lose Texas easy. Then she'd be here with me, and nothing else would come between the two of us. If Dallas was in Tennessee, oh, if Dallas was in Tennessee. Dallas packed her suitcase, drove off in the brand new car I bought her.
Ketchup on my blue ink, I just burn my hands. Lord, it's hard to be a bachelor man. I got girls that can cook, I got girls that can clean, I got girls that can do anything in between. I gotta get ready, make everything right, cause all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. Do you wanna drink? Hey, do you wanna party? Hey, honey, this is old man, ready to get the thing started. We cooked a pig in the ground, got the beer on ice, and all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. Is out in the woods. It's a long, long way from here to Hollywood. But I got some natural queens out on the floor, and old Miss Mississippi just walked through the door. Got a little whirlpool just made for Kim, and you can jump out and you can jump in. You can do anything that you want to do, but don't you step on my cowboy boots. Do you want to drink? Hey, do you want to party? Hey, this is old Hank, ready to get the summer started. I cooked a pig in the ground, we got the beer on ice, and all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
big in the crowd. We got the 09. All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. That's right.
When you need a new vehicle, you've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever.
Hey, Mike.
Yep.
When do you want to go here?
Whenever there's about 5 minutes left up, so we can just go whenever.
Alrighty, I'll fade out of this song and into the open here.
Alright, thank you.
Alrighty.
And when you get the chance, spit it out or then I hope you dare. I hope you dare. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living my dreams.
Welcome to this edition of Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Let's send it over to your voice of the Tetons, Mike Reuter. Teton Basketball starts now.
Hey there, sports fans. Mike Reuter here, back in the well in Williston. And the Tetons are looking to get after it here in a women's game. This one is another non-conference game for Williston State. And they'll be coming up against, it will be Briercrest College. So the Tetons looking to get after it against Briercrest. So it will be the second of 2 games here tonight. 2 more games here in the well tomorrow. But right now we'll take a peek at the Tetons and some of their statistics to see how they have gotten things done so far on the season. They're a perfect 3 for 3 in games so far. All 3 of them came in the Buster Gillis Classic in Newtown just last weekend, including a couple thrilling victories. The first one over, the first game was a 25-point win over United Tribes. The second one was a big win knocking off NDSCS, who most people would have thought would be the #1 team in the conference coming into the season. The Tetons then moved on in a back-and-forth game, came back from a 10-point deficit to beat Dawson Community College and be crowned the Buster Gillis Tip-Off Tournament champions. They're led in scoring by Ali Garcia, although she has just 1 game in the books so far on the season. She twisted her ankle in that opener late in the game against United Tribes. She had 21 points in that game. That's where she stands in her points per game. Taylor Moffitt, the reigning Mondac Conference Player of the Week, at 16.7 points per game. Cammie Harris with 12.7 points per game. She was huge in that championship game, including a big late 3-pointer to help seal the deal. Allison Coothy, who has been a little bit of a do-it-all player for the Tetons, and she is getting 11 points per game. Kansas, his bad horse, with 9. Kansas is dealing with a calf injury that she picked up on one of the scrimmages here before the season started. Talked to Coach Triplett before the game, and she said Kansas is doing a little bit better. We can tell just how she is moving in that Buster Gillis tournament, that she is not 100%. And looking here all the way up from the nest at the well in Williston, you can see a visible bruise on Kansas's left calf still. So you hope that Kansas is working her way back into playing shape. Looking over at some more stats for Williston State, they hit 7 of 23 three-pointers per game. So a heavy shooting three-pointer team for Williston State. They're making just shy of 30% of their three-pointers that they throw up. They're shooting 6 of 20 three-pointers per game and shooting 29%. They are making 45% of their shots from the field, going 27 of 59 from the field overall in shots per game. Looking at blocks, it is Ali Garcia had 2 blocks in that first game, and also to go along with 2 steals, leading the way in rebounding for Williston State in rebounds per game. It is Elizabeth Field, the 5'4" sophomore from Grenora, is leading the way for the Tetons in rebounding. She's getting 7.7 rebounds per contest. Kansas, his bad horse, is 6.7. Cami Harris, 6.3. Allison Coonsey, 5.7. And Ali Garcia, 5 rebounds per game. So a well-rounded Teton team here as they look to get their first non-conference game up against Briercrest College, coming all the way from just west of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. So they're looking to get after it here and put some good work on the court tonight against these Tetons. We'll have to see how the Tetons can handle a 4-year program out there. Watching Briercrest warmed up is the first time we saw them do work, and they have some athletic guards out there. So we'll have to see how they get going. And with the Canadian team, we'll be having the playing of the national anthem. So we're going to step aside for 90 seconds back after the Canadian national anthem. Back in 90.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
We're back for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. They're playing both anthems still as the nightcap of the game, getting them both going here. So national anthem in the works right now. We're going to step away for another 1-minute timeout. And when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the start for the women's Teton game right here on 660 Keys News Radio.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times. Because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Welcome back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Williston State looking to get after it against Briercrest. And now they'll have the starting lineups here for both squads. And they'll start off with Briercrest. It'll be number 6, Melissa Ellis, a senior, a fourth-year guard from Arcola, Saskatchewan. Next up is number 7, Brooklyn Martins, a fourth-year player, 6 foot from Caronport, Saskatchewan. So all Canadian players here, all but one, or all Canadian players here for Briercrest. And they get both the last two out there. It'll be number 9, Dory Sunderland, a third-year guard from Paradise Valley, Alberta. And number 13, Maddie Beattie, a fourth-year player, 5'9" guard from Bannock, Nova Scotia. Starting off for the Williston State Tetons, a sophomore from Grenora, North Dakota, 5'4". That is Elizabeth Field. Next up is number 5, a 5'11" forward, Allison Coonsey. Next up, number 11, a 5'11" guard, Taylor Moffitt. A 5'9" guard, Allie Garcia. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Williston State Tetons is number 21, Kansas Hisbat Horse. Tetons are coached once again by Bill Triplett. They're assisted by Laramie Schwenke and Sydney Labatt. The Tetons now looking to get after it here in this first non-conference game and their first home game of the season. Out on the court comes Briercrest. It should be a good athletic play. Briercrest has some great guards out there on the court, and they'll be led by Ellis. She's a very athletic guard for Briercrest, watching her warm up with the rest of her teammates. So now Tetons and Briercrest in the center circle. It will be Coonsey up against Jordan, and it's going to be taken away by Garcia and the Tetons. She'll set up the offense first. She kicks it over to Hisbat Horse. Now to Moffitt. It'll take off down the paint. Over to Coonsey, and it's going to be tipped away. It'll stay with the Tetons. 22 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 9:51 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Here's Fields looking for someone to get it off to. Has to work. Gets it over to Moffitt. Baseline drive. Little floater up, and that's no good. That's going to be pulled down underneath by Fields. It'll go back to Briercrest. Ripped away. Sunderland bringing it up the court. First possession of the game by Sunderland. She's going to get it over to Beattie. Back up on top to Martins. Working her way around. Sunderland has it. She'll swing it over to Ellis. Thought about a three-pointer. Didn't take it. Backing down Hisbat Horse is Martins. Turnaround jumper. No good. Coonsey with the board. Tetons bring it back up the court. Back up the court comes Garcia. She'll have it on top of the perimeter for Williston State. Now to Hisbat Horse. Working her way around. She's going to drive baseline. Cut off by Martins. Back to Field. To the high post. She's stopped. Kick it out. Here comes Moffitt for 3. Off the back of the iron. No good. That'll be pulled down by Beattie. Beattie will kick it off to her guard. Sunderland racing up the court. She's going to scream. Throw it up. There's going to be Moffitt called for the foul. That foul will come with 9:03 left to go. First team, first personal. That'll be it. Looked like there was going to be a sub, but just racing over to the bench was Hope Jordans for Briercrest, as that puts Sunderland at the line for a pair of shots. Her first one is going to be up and good. Dory Sunderland, 1 for 1 so far from the line. She'll have another one coming right now. Sunderland taking her dribbles. Next one on the way from the stripe. That one is good as well. 2-0 lead. Briercrest on top early. And inbound the ball. Now it's going to be over. Field will get it into Moffitt. Moffitt working her way through traffic. Over Field. 3-point guard set. The Tetons like to run. Field racing. She's going to be cut off from getting into the lane. Up on top to Garcia. Hisbat Horse will push back up to the top of the perimeter. Swings it over to Field on the outside. Now Field will get to penetrate. Over to Moffitt. Moffitt gets in the paint to Coonsey underneath. She's going to be blocked. She gets her own read. No, but they say on that first shot, Coonsey's going to be fouled. So it looked like a clean block from Hope Jordans, but that will send number 5, Allison Coonsey, to the line for a pair of shots. Tetons pull all 4 rebounders, or 2 of the rebounders out from the blocks for the first shot. Coonsey's first one on the way off the back of the iron, no good. And it is the Briercrest squad. They're having a good time with the Tetons cheering section. Going back and forth. Coonsey for her second of two. On the way, that one's up and good. Tetons on the scoreboard, trailing by 2-1 with 8:40 left to go. Some full court press. Long pass will go up to Ellis. She's going to be guarded. Now baseline drive. Underneath it'll go. The block underneath by his bad horse. Coonsey with the ball, running the point. It's going to go over in between Moffitt and Garcia. A little uncertainty who the pass was aimed at, and it flies out of bounds. Turnover for the Tetons. So Tetons sinking back down into a 2-3 zone. Coach Triple likes to switch it up between man and zone. Back up the court comes Briercrest. Swing it over to Sunderland, onto the far corner to Ellis. Back up on top to Beatty. High post, finding Martins. She's driving on his bad horse. Kicks it out on the perimeter, and now it's going to be thrown away, intended for Sunderland, but just led her a little too much. Hit Coach Triplet in the ankles, and the Tetons forced a turnover. Now a turnover apiece between the two squads. 8:15 left to go. Inbound pass goes to Garcia. Her ankle looks good out on the court. She'll get by Ellis. Going to get through, flip one up and in. Garcia with some great control to throw it up there and get her to drop her first bucket of the game for the Tetons. Back comes Briercrest. They're going to throw it up, and a very late touch foul on that shot at the basket. Will be the second team foul. That one's going to go against Coonsey. It's her first personal, second team. Couple of subs coming out of the game and in for Briercrest. We'll check in for the first time for Briercrest. He is going to be number 11, Claire Dubenfield, as the first free throw is going to go up and good from Martins. As well as checking into the game for Sunderland. As soon as we see the number that flashes here. Next one's going to be on the way. That one is up and good, so 2 for 2 from Martins on the shot. Back of the court comes Field, racing up at the 4-3 game. Long pass over to Moffitt. Looking to work her way through. Dubenfield on her. Pass underneath to Coonsey. Is tipped out of bounds by Jordan. That'll be an inbound pass for the Tetons underneath their own basket. It'll be Field set to trigger. Guarding looking for low look for the Tetons. Looking to go, and there's a curl-out pass over on the wing. His bad horse up on top. Moffitt now on the far wing. Little shimmy shake. She gets into the paint. Will step through, throw it up. That's no good. Tipped up in the air a couple times. It'll come down into the hands of Dubenfield. Back down the court comes Briercrest. Mutareski has it. She's getting it down low. Another running shot is going to be up and no good. That'll be taken by Martins. Back down the court comes the Tetons. Looking to take their first lead. Moffitt has it from the near wing. Picks up a big screen, and she's going to be tackled. No call on that one. Back up the court. They get it over to Ellis. One-on-one with Garcia. Steps through. Lots of steps, and that's no good. Last touch by, they say, off of Garcia and out of bounds. That'll be an inbound play coming for Briercrest underneath their own basket. Matureski sets to get it in on the box. Now Briercrest a little out of sorts. Up it'll go, working around the perimeter. It's going to be a lost ball on the ground, but coming over is Martins. Out of the corner, little post-to-post, stolen out of there by Coonsey. She'll get it off to his bad horse. Elizabeth Field back up the court. Under 7 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Over to Moffitt on the wing. Up on top. Coonsey flashes, gets the pass. Now to Garcia. Waiting for Field. Now she's going to drive baseline against Ellis. Floats it up, and Garcia's going to draw the foul from Ellis. That'll be Garcia at the line for a pair. So we'll see if they do call it on Ellis, or I believe they whistled for Hope Jordans. No, they do put it on Ellis. So each team with now 2 fouls apiece. So at the line for a pair is going to be Allie Garcia. She misses her first one. She'll have one more coming. Look to tie it up. Currently a 1-point Briercrest lead, 4-3. She'll take her dribble again. Next one on the way. That one is in there, and we're all tied up at 4. Garcia with 3 of the 4 points in the game for Williston State. Matureski gets it over to Ellis in the corner. Back up on top of the perimeter to Martin. Swings it back to Matureski, looking down low. Has a mismatch underneath the post from Jordans. There'll be a long shot coming. Offensive rebound goes back to Matureski. Underneath in the post to Jordans all alone. She misses the bunny. Field's going to wrestle it away. So Field pushes Garcia out of the way as she thought that was a Briercrest player. Now bring it back up. Allie Garcia into the corner. Kansas, his bad horse. High arcing 3. That's going to be no good. Tipped out of there by Elizabeth Field. and she gets in there early and often. Now it's going to go 5 substitutes are going to be ready on the bench for Briercrest on the next stop. 6 minutes left to go. Underneath the His Bad Horse. Drive. She's going to put it up. That one's going to be blocked, and it'll stay with the Tetons. Here with 5:56 left to go. 6 minutes left on the shot clock. So a line change now in for Briercrest. So we'll see. We'll get the numbers here as they come in. Most of them for the first time. So Kendall Evans and Asia Wells, 2 of them also back into the game is Maddie Beatty. As there's a stoppage on the court as they're looking on the shot clock now. So still some confusion out there between the officials. Coach Triplett making his adjustments. They put 2 more seconds up on the shot clock. And it will be Moffitt setting the trigger. You get it to His Bad Horse in the corner. Up to Garcia. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Moffitt turnaround jumper. That's going to be up no good. That'll be taken down by Wells. Wells will get it off. Screaming up the court. Will going to be Sunderland. Corner 3. That's going to be up and over everything. Back to Briercrest. Over to the hands of Evans. And that's going to be a Garcia foul. So she'll pick up the foul here. 5:37 left to go. Briercrest will inbound from underneath their own basket. Underneath, setting to trigger will be Sunderland. Coaching staff for Briercrest, Anthony Skeppel and Perry Martins calling out plays. Looking to get it underneath, tipped up in the air. His Bad Horse with the steal. Tetons being active defensively. Fields, long pass for Garcia. Gets it underneath, but away from the basket. She'll have to pull it out. Back to Fields, up on top. His Bad Horse to Moffitt on the near wing. She'll swing it over to Garcia again. Goes for an NBA range 3. That's off the side of the rim. No good. So Tetons taking some early 3-pointers. On the pass is going to be tipped out of bounds by His Bad Horse. Streaking down the court was Kendall Evans. And Kansas with a nice athletic play to tip it out of bounds. 5:15 left to go in the first. Still score is tied at 4 apiece. Inbound play coming for Briercrest. Beetle looking to get it in, and there's going to be a whistle before. That one's going to go on Coonsey. It'll be her second. So we might see Cammie Harris making an appearance here. And instead, it won't be Harris coming off the bench for the Tetons. It will be number 51, Tilda Moritzen. And Harris also coming in. So a couple of changes coming in for the Tetons. Harris coming in for Garcia. There's some reinforcements in there for the Tetons. Now making a defensive switch. Inbound play coming. It's going to go up into the middle. It goes. Trying to find someone off to get it off to now. Pass underneath. Moritzen with a tip away, but recovered by Briercrest. Another tip away, this time by His Bad Horse. We call underneath, and His Bad Horse is going to commit the foul on Asia Wells. She puts it up, and Wells with the hoop and the harm. 2-point lead now for Briercrest. Chance to extend it out to 3. So now Tetons looking to battle. They have a lot playing up against a lot of savvy veterans. That is the first personal on Kansas. At the line is Wells for 1. That one's off the mark, no good. His Bad Horse with the rebound. Gets it off to Moffitt, and she'll push it up. Moffitt across the timeline. 4:56. His Bad Horse over to Harris. Quick 3-ball from Harris, and it is. Cammie Harris with the long shot, and Tetons now up by 1, 7-6. Briercrest again looking to take the lead. Wells on top of the perimeter. She'll swing it over to Beatty. Beatty on the drive to Harris and goes for a little step through. Up no good. His Bad Horse comes down with the rebound. There's going to be a reach and foul on Beatty. And there's going to be a media timeout with the under 5 timeout. 4:43 left to go in the game. And we'll be away for a 1-minute timeout. Tetons up by 1. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-thru window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug Toys available at their downtown service truck location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy, 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you'll not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your team takes the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Mike back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons have a 1-point lead over the Clippers, 7-6. 4:34 left to go in quarter number one. Back out on the court for the Tetons is Allison Coonsey. So in there with 2 fouls. Will come in the game for Kansas, his bad horse. Will be Teton ball. Clippers putting on some full court press. Harris set to trigger. Bounce pass into Moffitt. One-on-one up the court with Sunderland. She'll push, beat Sunderland, put on the brakes and let her go by as the team sets up their offense. Fields works her way back up to the top of the perimeter. Morrison underneath, all alone. Give and go to Morrison with her first points of the game. 9-6, Tetons on the high side. Back up comes Sunderland. She's looking back door for Beatty, can't find her. Hands it off over to Wells. Wells on the drive, kicks it out to Sunderland. Missed the three-pointer, didn't hit rim. Bounces right into Coonsey's hand. Moffitt pushing up the court, long pass over to Field. Field driving, she gets underneath. Elizabeth Field with the driving layup up and in. Tetons on a run, now up 11-6. Now Clippers set to come back in. They're going line changes here so far in the game. High post pass over to Wells, back up on top, three-pointer from Beatty. That one is up and good. Maddie Beatty makes the first three-pointer of the game. Now it's still a 2-point game. Moffitt racing up the court. She momentarily loses the handle, regains it, crosses the timeline. Over to Field again. Picks up a screen from Coonsey, nothing there. Over to Morrison. Now to Moffitt from the perimeter. She's going to drive baseline. Oh, kisses it off the glass, up and in. Taylor Moffitt with a little floater off the glass. 2 more Tetons. Up by 4, 13-9. So Sunderland back up the court. Swings it over to the corner to Beatty. Beatty, bounce pass, high post to Wells. In the corner, open to Sunderland. Couldn't handle the pass. Tries for an entry pass underneath to ends. That goes nowhere, into the hands of Coonsey. Back up to Tetons go. Long pass over to Coonsey from Harris. A little too hard, a little too high, and out of bounds it goes. With that stop, we'll have 5 more Clippers coming onto the court. So inbound pass coming for the Clippers as they reset their offense. Martins will get the ball in. Inbound the ball up on top of the perimeter to Malczewski. Swings it now, Ellis, who's back in the game. Malczewski, high post. She'll find it up over to Jordans, and that will be put up and in by Jordans. 2-point shot, back down to a 2-point game. Back come the Tetons, up the field. Moffitt is going to get up to Harris, just about had it picked away. Fields down to Coonsey. Coonsey's going to be hit hard as she goes up. She'll go to the line for 2 more shots. Those will be her second trip to the line for free throws 3 and 4. We'll see who that foul was on. That one's going to go on Jordan's, just her first 4th team foul. Clippers with 4, Tetons with 5 fouls here in the first quarter. Fouls cap off at 5 each quarter, and then there's 2 free throws the rest of the way. First one up from Coonsey is up and good. He is now 2 for 3 for the line, looking to go 3 for 4. Tetons back up to a 3-point game. His bad horse set to check back in, and she'll be coming in for Coonsey, who'll be allowed to take her second free throw. So Coonsey at the stripe for her second of 2. The Clipper basketball squad in attendance, stomping their feet, and that next one is up and good. So Coonsey puts both of them in. Tetons back up 15-11, and she'll take a seat on the bench as Kansas will check back into the game. Back up the court comes Briercrest. Matzareski back up on top, over to Ellis, skip pass back to Matzareski, looking for the entry pass, nothing there. Will be stolen by Field, and Field will slow things down. She was running into a wave of trouble, kicks it off to Harris. Harris has it on the perimeter. She's going to drive over to Morrison, works into the paint, and there's going to be a hold called on the Clippers. That one may go on. We'll see who it goes on. So that is the 15th foul on Briercrest. So that's the first on Matseski. So her first personal foul. That'll put Morrison at the line. First one bounces around and off. Looking to go 1-1 now, trying to make the second half of the double bonus. Both teams in the double bonus. The remaining 2:12 left to go in the first quarter. Next one up, that hits off the side of the iron, no good. Empty trip to the line for Williston State. Matseski comes back up the court. Moffitt all over her, and Matseski gets called for the travel. Moffitt jumped into the passing lane, and Matseski didn't have a chance to gather herself. That'll be a turnover back to Williston State. 2:04 left to go. Inbound pass from Harris to Field. Ellis guarding Field. Reverses crab dribble. She's going to be run into, but the ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Ellis. And the Clippers will give it back to Williston State. 1:57 left to go. 23 on the shot clock. Moffitt set to inbound. She'll get it into Field. Work against Ellis to get it back up. Picks up her dribble after one. Finds his bad horse on top of the perimeter. Looking for Field on the far wing. Field waiting for Harris to come up on top. Harris catch and shoot from the top of the perimeter. That's off the mark. No good. Ellis with the rebound. She'll get it off to Matseski, who will push it up the court. Under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Swings it over to Dalvin Field. Back up on top to Ellis from range. That one is going to be off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Harris. She's putting it down. Now we'll back off, looking for some help. Swing pass will be over the Field. Ellis just about there to steal. Another 4-5 players set to come in. His bad horse from 3. Bartson tried to go down for the rebound, but it's going to be taken away. Get it off to Ellis. Back comes an odd man push by the Briercrest. It'll be underneath, kicks out into the corner. Wide open is Dalvin Field for 3. That's no good. His bad horse can't quite get there, but Moffitt will pull up the rebound. Moffitt hands it off to Field. They'll push it back up. 4-point lead for Williston State. Field pushing it up. Bounce pass to Morrison. Looking for a guard to get it off to. Hands it off to Moffitt. Harris was open for 3. Morrison with a little curl pass, and she's going to be fouled as she goes up. So that'll be another foul called on the Clippers. A go against number 14. Hope Jordan should be her second personal, as Coach Skeppel didn't think that one was a foul. Garcia set to come back into the game. She'll come in for Fields. So Morrison at the line for a pair with Garcia back in. Still not all the way recovered from that ankle injury, but getting there. Morrison at the line for 2. 5 fresh Briercrest players in there. First one up and no good. Well, Morrison, the post for Williston State, looking to do a lot down low. Missed the front half, now looking to complete on the second half. Second one up and in. So 2 points in there from Morrison. Back up the court come the Clippers. On top, Clausen has it. She'll swing it over to Beatty. Now up on top to Evans. Looks to get it dumped down low into the hands of Wells. Knocked away, but recovering it is Evans. Back it'll go. Moffitt looking for a steal and just about had it, but recovering are the Clippers. Here comes Clausen on the baseline drive. Going to be stripped out after she dumps it off over to Ends. Still on the ground. Coming away with his bad horse. Pushed it over to Morrison. Now we push back up the court by Moffitt. 20 seconds left to go on the quarter clock on the American State Bank scoreboard. Moffitt calling out a play. Tough defense by Clausen. Picking up her dribble. Now over to Harris. Peels it back to the top of the perimeter. Underneath it, his bad horse gets it. Saves it from going out of bounds. Over Moffitt with 3. And that's going to be up no good. His bad horse is going to be called for the offensive foul. So she had the defender Ends locked down. So that'll be his bad horse with a foul with 2.9 seconds left to go. And at the line will be Kiana Ends. And they say his bad horse clipped Ends with an elbow. So no review or no discussion from the officials on even an inadvertent elbow on the NCAA level is an automatic flagrant 1 foul. Ends at the line. First one off the mark, no good. 16-11, Teton lead. One more shot coming. That one is up and good from Ends. That'll make it now 16-12. Moffitt looking to get it into Garcia. Long leading pass to Garcia. Saves it from going out of bounds. She'll have a heave, and that one is going to be off no good. She had had a chance for a couple more dribbles before she pulled the trigger. But the Tetons will hold on to a 4-point first quarter lead, 16-12. We're going to step away for a minute timeout. When we come back, we'll get you going for quarter number 2 here from Williston.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students, whether high school or college. We salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle too. Check it out at asbc.com. That's banking the American State way. Member FDIC.
Michael back here for Teton basketball on 680 Keys News Radio. Just starting the second quarter. It will be Briercrest ball here to start out the second. Tetons have a 4-point, 16-12 lead on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inbound pass comes, and a fresh 5 in there for Briercrest. They've been subbing early and often. Ellis has it pass tipped away from her into the hands of Beatty. Gets it down low underneath over to Martins. Martins hands it off, and that's going to be forced up and in from Wells. 2 points. And now just a 2-point game. Moffitt racing it up the court. She'll get across the timeline, looking to drive. Tries to flip it down underneath, lose control, but his man Horse comes away with it. She'll throw it up, and Kansas gets it to go. So 2 more points for the Tetons, thanks to Kansas, his red horse. That'll make it now 18-14. 2-point jump shot on the way from Ellis. No good, pulled out of there by Moffitt. That's going to be a long pass up to Harris. She gets a seam, throws it up and in transition. Cami Harris running the floor for 2. 20-14 Tetons. Now looking to get out and run. Pass going to be across court. Going to go over to Beatty. She takes a 3-pointer. That's going to be off the mark. Garcia pulls it down. Gets it up to Moffitt. Moffitt reels it in. She has a hound behind her. Going to be fouled as she goes up with it. And the Wolves Sunderland couldn't quite get there in time, and she committed a foul. That'll put Taylor Moffitt to the line for a pair of shots. So Moffitt will be ready to go for 2 shots. She'll have a sub coming in for her when she hits her second one, or the next stop. It'll be Elizabeth Field. Moffitt's first one on the way is up and good. Tetons now have their largest lead and look to continue to build. 21-14. Coach Triplett relaying plays to his team here in between free throws. Moffitt at the line for her second of 2. Next one, in and out, no good. Larson just about came down with the offensive rebound. The Tetons keep their now 7-point lead. Back comes Briercrest. Up the court, swing it around over to Ellis. And there's going to be a kickball called by Moffitt. And that'll be the stop that the Tetons need to sub into the game. Elizabeth Field. Moffitt didn't know she was being subbed out for us. Ready to go back in on defense. So Field in for Moffitt. Inbound play coming for the Clippers. 8:50 left to go in the first half. Inbound is going to be Martins. Looking to get it off. She'll find Wells. Swings it over into the hands of Sunderland. Looking back up on top to Beatty. Crosses over. Looking to drive. Cut off. High post looking. Now underneath. Morrison comes away with it. Harris is going to pick up the loose ball. And she's going to get it off to Morrison. Long pass up to Garcia. Has a seams. Can she take it? She's going to go for a hesitation. Now bring it back. Flip it up to Morrison up on top. Harris takes it, thinks about it, and there's going to be now Field with a drive. She puts it up and in. Elizabeth Field with a little shimmy and shake and gets home for 2 more. Tetons up 9, 23-14. More subs coming for Briercrest on the next stop. Henry pass underneath. They'll get it down low to Martins, and she's going to be tangled up with Kansas, his bad horse, and the alternating arrow will give it back to Wilson State. So in for Harris, he is going to come, number 33, Therese Carlander. And Briercrest now with 5 more. Now they're just going with 4 on, 4 off. Inbound play coming for the Tetons. Garcia has it. She'll be guarded up the court by Voth, who's in the game for the first time. Garcia gets in the lane, left-handed, floater up and in. Well, Allie Garcia with a nice little mid-range floater to get it in there. Back at the court come the Clippers. They're swinging around. Voth has it on the outside. She fires from long range. That's no good. Teton throw it up to Garcia. Has Field underneath, streaking again, and Elizabeth Field for 2 more. Field with 4 straight points for the Tetons, and there's going to be a Briercrest timeout. Tetons lead 27-14 with 7:44 left to go. The offense has exploded. It's going to be a short timeout. We'll take a short one as well. We'll be back in 60 seconds. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family. Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at wilistonstate.edu/apply.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. It is the Clippers ball coming out of a timeout. Now we get a good look at their new squad they have out on the court, as it'll be Voth in there for the first time. She'll be joined by Matureski. Also in there, number 21 ends. Still in the game is Martins, and rounding it out, we're going to see who else in there now, swinging over the ball into the hands of Bastrowithick. Here comes the now Briercrest. Bastrowithick has it on the far wing. Bounce pass over down low to Martins. Back to Bastrowithick. Long 2-point shot off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled down by Carlander. She'll dribble it out. Up it goes to Fields. Pushing up. His bad horse underneath. No to Morrison. Puts it up. Hoop and no harm. Got it to go. Dilda Morrison with the bucket after the tic-tac-toe pass from Fields to his bad horse. Then back to Morrison. And one is complete. Tetons now up 15 points, 29-14. Morrison looking to complete the 3-point play. To the line, 4-1 shot on the way. Takes a big bounce and drops into the bucket. Now 30-14. Matzeski pushing up the court for the Clippers. She swings it over to Voth on the far wing. Voth being hounded by Garcia, looking to get it off to a teammate. Finds Martins on the high post. Backing downfield, turnaround jumper. That's just a mismatch that Briercrest has to take advantage of every time they can, with Fields giving up about 8 inches. Fields trying to work it up the court. Long pass over to Garcia, all alone, taking all the time in the world for 3. High bounce, no good. Tipped out by Morrison. Hands it over to his bad horse, who is out of bounds. And they tried to save it, but just couldn't get it back in bounds. Now, Tetons looking to build down defensively and see if they can't avoid that switch to put Fields down on Martins. So we get over to Voth, who has it on top. Up on top to Martins. Better matchup with Morrison. Here comes the drive to Matzeski. Back up on top. Here's another drive from Martins. She's going to be blocked by his bad horse, and his bad horse is going to hurt her knee, and she's down and hurt. And we have a timeout. We're going to step aside as Kansas, his bad horse, crumpled to the floor. We hope she's all right. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back with more Teton basketball here in a minute.
When you need a new vehicle, you've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel-efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Mike Ruder back here. Teton basketball play is back in. Conradson in the game, and it was his bad horse. She was able to get up and walk off the court under her own power, so a good sign. And now she is having her right knee examined. Briercrest has the ball. Voth with a 3-pointer from the wing. No good. Offensive rebound. Besowithick comes down with it. And now it's going to be Coonsey gets tangled up with Martins, and that is going to be a jump ball, giving it back to Briercrest here with 5:59 left to go. But there is going to be a 5-on, 5-off substitution coming into the game. So his bad horse out, and back in is Coonsey. And now Briercrest with their new 5. So now it'll be Tetons making a couple more substitutions. Harris will come in for Carlander, and Moffitt back into the game. She's going to come in for Garcia. Inbound pass coming. Clausen looking to get it in. Trying to find someone. Gets it mid-range. Puts it two-point shot up by Wells. That's going to be no good, and there's going to be a foul after Coonsey comes down with the rebound. Well, that is going to be on number 23, Asia Wells. 13 foul, just the first personal. Inbound play coming to get over the field. Ellis hounding her down the sideline. Long pass up to Harris. She'll get it across, walking across the timeline. Taking her time just across with a couple of seconds to spare. Harris fires it over to Coonsey, working away around the perimeter. Hands it to Moffitt on top. Thought about a three-pointer, didn't take it. Into the corner to Harris. Quick three-pointer up, and that one's no good. Harris can't seem to find the range so far in the game. Ellis pushing it up the court for the Clippers. She'll be cut off by Fields. Now back on top it goes to Clausen. Working her way back to Ellis. Ellis holding on. Back will go to Clausen. Swings it over to Dubenfield in the far wing. Dubenfield gets to the high post. She'll hand it off. Now going to throw it out of bounds is Wells after a handoff at the high post. A little bit of offensive confusion out there for Briercrest as the Tetons still holding on to a 12-point lead, 30-18 with 5:16 left to go. Moffitt flips it up to Coonsey. Coonsey with a jump shot up, and that's going to get stuck in the crook of the basket. So we'll have to see if they have one of the baseball players jumps up and pops it out of there, and he gets a round of applause from both his friends and cheering section for the Tetons as well as the Briercrest cheering section. Tetons will retain possession with the alternating arrow. Martinson gets it over to Field. Gets it back over to Harris in the corner. Harris with a pump fake, and they're going to say she left the ground on the pump fake, and that'll be a Teton travel. The turnover will get it all over to Briercrest. 5:06 left to go. The Clippers looking to chip away at this lead even further. Tetons led by as many as 15. Clausen swings it over to Dubenfield. Up on top to Ellis. Back to Clausen. Looks at dump-off pass down low. Nothing to work with underneath for Wells. Back up on top to Dubenfield. Swings it to Clausen. 16 on the shot clock still. Back out to Ellis. Wide open for three from Ellis. That rattles out no good. And that's Harris. She takes a poke in the eye, and it's stolen away from her by Clausen. And Coach Triplett is incensed with himself that his player can take a hit in the eye. And that is 2 more points to bring the lead down to 10. So an unintentionally rough game. So neither team really being rough out there. Just a couple of accidents. Moffitt swing pass over to Harris. He's back on now. Swings it over to Fields in the corner. Fields for three. That one rattles out no good. Coonsey with the board. She drop steps, puts it up. Off no good. And there's going to be a reach and foul by Elizabeth Field. 4:25 left to go. First team foul of the quarter for Williston State. A little bit of frustration out there for the Tetons. As his bad horse still having her, now she's having her knee taped up just below the kneecap. So we'll see if she is done for the day or if she will in fact return. Over to go to Dubenfield, out on the outside. Swing it around. Ellis again for three from the wing. That's going to be up no good. Morrison has it tipped away from her into the hands of Wells. She hands it off down low to Jordan, who puts it up and in. Now that is a run building. It is an 8-point run for the Clippers here in the last couple of minutes. Moffitt pump fakes it. Over to Coonsey. Goes in the far wing. Down in the corner to Field. She'll take up a Coonsey screen. Give and go underneath. Coonsey up on top to Morrison. Swings it back to Field. Open for three. Takes another one. That time it goes. Elizabeth Field with a much-needed three-pointer. Breaks the scoring streak. Back to an 11-point lead. Tipped away, and they're going to call a reach-in foul on Moffitt. They tipped the ball away from the driving Wells, but we have a media timeout. We'll have 5 fresh Clippers coming back onto the court. No, it won't be a media timeout. It'll just be Clippers coming back in. So Briercrest going with 5 more on the court. Inbound pass coming for Briercrest. Sunderland looking to get it up. She'll get it up on to the high post over to Martins. And Martins is going to be fouled by Harris on a very tough foul. So not agreeing now with Coach Triplett, just has his hands kind of aside and wondering where that foul was called, but with Harris being slapped in the face, she wasn't get called. Sunderland again looking to trigger. Up on top, it'll go back over to Martins. Martins underneath, back to Sunderland. Little 5-foot baseline jumper is up and good. 2 more for the Clippers. Moffitt racing up the court, weaving through defense. Up it'll go to Fields, and too long of a pass for her to handle. Turns the ball back over to Briercrest. 9-point lead for Williston State. Garcia comes into the game for Moffitt. So come back up the court are the Clippers. They swing it over to Beatty. Up on top of the perimeter. Now into Sunderland. Working her way to Evans in the far corner. Just about stolen away there by Fields. Swing pass over to Beatty. Coonsey with the interception. She finds Garcia down the sideline, and she'll work her way. See if Garcia slips through traffic, and she's going to be hugged from behind by Martins, preventing the layup. And that'll put Garcia at the line for a pair. So Ali Garcia, freshman from Australia, at the stripe for 2. The Clippers now pull everyone back. Clippers are along, now they're all along the sideline before their coach finally said, hey, let's get up on the blocks. So the officials now having a discussion. And Garcia finally gets the ball and ready to take her free throws. First one up, and that one is good. So Garcia with one more, chance to make it another. Lead is back to 10. Moffitt ready to check in again. So Moffitt being one official signal for her to come in. The other said no. So official still in early season form as well here at the well. Garcia at the line for her second of 2. That one no good. Coonsey just about had the rebound, but no good. Moffitt now will head back. She'll stay at the scorer's table. Swing pass over to Evans. Evans back up on top to Sunderland. Working their way around. Beatty has it on the near wing. They're looking to get it back into Evans in the corner. Little high-low. Enns has it. She throws it up. That rattles around to get there. Kiana Enns for 2. Back to an 8-point lead, 34-26. Garcia working her way to the near wing. Hands it off to Coonsey. Coonsey back to Garcia up on top of the perimeter. Now Fields. Thought about a three-pointer. Didn't take it. Garcia has it. Working. Driving. And she's going to be fouled on the drive. That one should go on Beatty. That's the 5th team foul, so that'll put Ali Garcia back at the stripe for a pair. Now will be a chance for Taylor Moffitt to come into the game. And should they get her in for, Moffitt will come in for Elizabeth Field. Again, there'll be a chance for Garcia. Knocked down a couple. First one off the mark, no good. And a good sign to see is Kansas, his bad horse, now with a taped up knee, is back, ready to check into the game. As Garcia's back to the stripe for her second. Now rolls around and drops in there. So the third foul being picked up by Dory Sunderland. She'll check out of the game for Briercrest. And coming back in for her will be number 10, Hannah Matseski. So Matseski brings the ball up the court, swings it over to Beatty. Stolen away there by Garcia. She's going to work it up the court. Long pass up to Harris. Harris, bounce pass to Moffitt. Underneath, stops in her tracks, puts it up and in. 2 more for Taylor Moffitt. Good play there by Moffitt. Back up comes Briercrest, trailing by 11. Beatty has it on the wing. She's looking to drive, penetrate. Turned away by Martin. Teton, 3-on-2. They get it up to Garcia. She's going to lay it up left-handed. In it goes. 2 more for Garcia. The Tetons again on another big run. Their lead has increased over to 13 points. Three-pointer coming from Beatty. Quick in the shot clock. Air ball. And here comes Garcia. She's racing down the court. His bad horse gets the pass, lays it up and in. And Kansas, his bad horse, takes a big shot from Beatty. And that'll be Kansas with a chance to complete the and one. So 4 more Briercrest players set to check back in. Tia Conradson in for Wilson State. And Kansas will probably be coming out of the game after this free throw. So his bad horse put it up and in for 2. And she'll have a chance to try and complete the 3-point play. Still working on that knee. Now it's instead of Conradson, They're going to bring in Alexis Moline. She's going in for his bad horse. So Kansas at the stripe for one shot. First one on the way, only one on the way, up and in. So Kansas will come out of the game. We might see her sparingly, if at all, the rest of the way. And Moline checks into the game for the first time for Williston State. Back up the court comes Morrison. Swings it over into the corner. She'll find her freshly checked in teammate Dobbenfield. Now back to Morrison. Looking to find anybody working their way around. Here's Jordan's has it. Back to Morrison, working her way around the perimeter. Takes an extra step, and she's going to be whistled for the travel. So that'll be a turnover, giving the ball back to Williston State. So Tetons inbounding the ball. They get it into Moffitt. Moffitt working up the court, and she's going to be fouled. That will be called on Montzeski. Montzeski picks up the foul, and the Tetons will walk the length of the court, and Taylor Moffitt will go to the line to shoot a pair. So Moffitt will be at the stripe for two. Chance to extend this Teton lead out, back up to 14 points. Chance to get it up to 16. Moffitt at the line for her first. That one up and good. She'll have one more coming. 43-26 here on the American State Bank scoreboard. 1:22 remaining before the half. Moffitt at the line for her second of two. On the way, that one, 2 for 2. Goes Taylor Moffitt, 44-26. Montzeski back up, long pass, swings it over to Dobbenfield. Now Ellis on top of the perimeter, back to Montzeski. Now Dobbenfield, she'll to drive, kick it off again. Long pass to Ellis. Ellis goes for another deep ball. That one going to be, must have been blocked by Garcia. Long pass from Moline is going to be tipped out of bounds by Dobbenfield, or that would have been another layup for Williston State. And the Clippers are going to put on some full court press. Moffitt comes over to pick up the pass. She's going to cross over Montzeski. Swings it over to Conradson on the drive. Backs over. Bounce pass up on top to Garcia. Tetons resetting. Garcia swings it to Moffitt in the corner. Baseline drive. Floater goes up and rattles home for Taylor Moffitt. Two more for her. A whole host of Tetons of having had a good half. Long pass over to Dobbenfield. She'll get down underneath. She's going to throw it into the middle to Wells. Loses the ball but regains control. Ellis, bounce pass underneath, is going to be lost. Who's going to come away with it? It's the Clippers. Little short pass, going to be up, no good. Morrison comes down to the rebound, gets it off to Garcia. Shot clock is on. 25 seconds as she crosses the timeline. Garcia weaves through traffic, gets into the paint. Euro step, throws one up, and that one will roll in there. What a play by Ali Garcia. Ankle must be feeling pretty good. 13 seconds left to go in the half. Morrison gets it over to Dobbenfield. She heaves one from range. That one doesn't hit anything. Ellis with the offensive rebound, just hit glass. Now over to Montzeski. She's going to throw it up, dip it down. Three-pointer at the buzzer from Dobbenfield, off the back and no good. And Tetons will take a 22-point lead into the break. They're up 48-26. So after a scary moment where Kansas, his bad horse, went down with a knee injury, she came back in momentarily, completed an and one. And now the Tetons are headed into the locker room with a good margin. We're going to step away for a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the halftime report right here on 660 Keys News Radio.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is for Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our signs. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Cooter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Teton women's basketball on top of the Briercrest Clippers by the halftime score of 48-26. Taking a look at the individual scoring, starting off with Briercrest here at the break. They have a couple players with 6 points each. Brooke Martins as well as Asia Wells, each with 6 points, hitting 3. Wells hit 3 two-pointers, and Martins hit 2 two-pointers as well as going 2 for 2 from the stripe. So far, not a lot of free throws being shot by Briercrest in that first half. Looking at the rest of the scoring, 5 points coming in from Maddie Beatty. She has the lone three-pointer in the game for the Clippers. 4 points coming in from Dory Sunderland. 3 points in from Kiana Eanes. And 2 points in there for Hope Jordans. Briercrest led by a good margin in the first quarter, is up to a 6-point lead for the Tetons. Rattled back and then they raced off to a lead. Taking a look now at the Tetons, who have really got it going. They've been living in transition play. They're led at scoring at the break by Allie Garcia. She has 11 points. 9 points coming in from Elizabeth Field. 9 as well from Taylor Moffitt. 6 points from Tilda Moritzen. 5 points from Kemi Harris. Also 5 points from Kansas Hisbad Horse. Allison Coonsey with 3 points in the game. And that equals up the 48 that the Tetons have at the break. The Tetons have gotten a couple big shots there in and big rushes that they've used to build up their lead. They had a 15-point lead at one point before the Clippers stormed back, and they were within 6 points. And the Tetons now have pushed that out to 22 points here at halftime. A little bit of a scare there for the Tetons is Kansas Hisbad Horse. She had either a banged knee or something, and she hit the court like a crumpled piece of paper, but she was able to get off the court on her own power, and after receiving some medical attention, she was able to get back onto the court and into the game. But after taking a hard foul for an and one, Coach Triplett pulled her out of the game, so we'll have to see how much more we see Kansas in the second half, if at all. So we have 5.5 minutes left to go before we get underway here for quarter number 3. We're going to step aside for a 4-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll get you going for the second half here from Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug Toys available at their downtown service truck location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you'll not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust,
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students. Whether high school or college, we salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle too. Check it out at asbt.com. That's banking the American State way. Member FDIC.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of associate and associate of applied science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family. Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at wilistonstate.edu/apply.
When you need a new vehicle, you've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel-efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our doors. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Michael back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons holding on to a 22-point lead at the break. Tetons shooting around on the court. And good news is Kansas, his bad horse, is among them on the court shooting around. We'll have to see how she is able to go if they decide to put her back in with a very comfortable lead at the break. I was able to catch Coach Triplett just in passing here, and he came up to me and just is kind of just shaking his head, and he was more than disgruntled about the officiating out on the court here tonight, and more than anything, as far as which side the officiating is going to, is working for player safety. And that big foul that his bad horse took on the layup when she crashed into the padding of the hoop stanchion, and he thought that one should have been was extra aggressive on there on the foul, that he was standing all alone with barely any momentum, and the collision knocked her down and about 5 feet forward. So we'll have to see how much Coach Triplett is on the officials as he is looking to put this one to bed early. There's about 10 seconds left to go before we start the third quarter here from Williston. First Teton action for basketball here in the well for the 2022-2023 campaign. And now the Teton women trying to do their part after the men held on to an 8-point win over Mayville State JV, which was a sloppy game. This one started off sloppy, but the Tetons are rounding into form here and showing that they are one of, if not the best team in the Mondac Conference on the women's side. Briercrest has the ball. They'll inbound it. Over it goes. They hand the ball over to Sunderland. Sunderland swings it now to Ellis. Working away is Beatty. Beatty has it. Working the way around. Shot is going to go up. No good. Kuzi with the rebound. She'll get over to his bad horse. Is going to start the game on the court. Field has it. Crossing over. She'll get across against Sunderland. Swings it over to Moffitt. Picks up a screen from his bad horse. Pick and roll. Kuzi underneath to his bad horse. Wide open underneath. Kansas, his bad horse. 4-2. And the Tetons continue on scoring here to start off this third quarter. Back comes the Briercrest. Up pushing up the court. Ellis has it. She'll swing it to Beatty. Corner three on the way. That one's off the mark. No good. Field grabs the ball. It'll hit the ground first, so a team rebound. Moffitt going the other way. She's going to flip it up, and that one is up and good. Contact on that one, and Coach Tripler just has to turn and shake his head. So Tetons now looking to continue on scoring. Goes up on the high post to Briercrest. Turn around, 4-shot, up no good. Coonsey with the rebound. She'll get it over to Garcia. Garcia's going to push it up the court for Williston State. Now over to his bad horse. Flips it back to Garcia. Here we come back up the court. Tetons looking to drive. Moffitt swings it over to Field. Three-pointer coming from Field. That's off the mark, no good. His bad horse the rebound. She'll push it through. She's going to be blocked on the way up. Lose the ball. That'll go back over to Williston State. Moffitt with the ball after his bad horse steal. That's put up no good. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch. They'll give it to the Tetons. Williston State, after a wild start to this third quarter, are up 52-26. Inbound play coming for Williston State. Moffitt looking to inbound it, looking around, trying to find a teammate to get it off to. Finally, up on top of everything, it's going to go to Fields. So Fields will work it back around. And it's going to be lost underneath. Coonsey just about got away with one. Moffitt hit the ground. She's slow to get up after taking contact. Long pass over to Ellis into the corner. That's going to go out of bounds. So Briercrest throws it away, and they turn it back over to Williston State. Inbound pass coming for the Tetons. Briercrest putting on some full court press. Fields will get it into Moffitt. Moffitt push it up the court. Couple of defenders on there. Over to Fields. Had Kismet horse open for a second, but not enough time. Now over to Garcia. Moffitt, three-pointer from the top. That is up and good. Taylor Moffitt with a big three-pointer. Back up the court comes Sunderland for the Clippers. And there's going to be a long pass that's going to go over to Betty, but she'll collide into Garcia. Garcia takes a moment to get up, and she is now going to be picking up the foul. So second personal on Garcia as 5 new players are in for Briercrest. 7:44 left to go in the first quarter. And as they have so often do, they do 5 on, 5 off. It's Evans, Wells, Matzeski in there along with Dubenfield. And looking around there, the final player is Eds. Inbound pass. Matzeski got away with the travel. She'll get it over into the hands of Dubenfield. There's going to be a block called on the Tetons. So we'll pick up 2 fouls in about 5 seconds. That one's going to go on Elizabeth Fields. It's her 3rd personal foul. Another inbound play with a fresh 20 on the shot clock for the Clippers. Inbound pass goes up on top to Enns, loses it, but she'll regain control. Moffitt just about had a steal. Enns will kick it over to Evans. Works her way to the top of the perimeter. Moffitt with some good defense. Matzeski, high post. Pulling out is Wells. Long three-point shot is up and good by Claire Dubenfield. Now 55-29. Baseball pass over to Field. She grabs it before it goes out of bounds. She'll pull it back up. Up on top, it'll go to Moffitt. Long to Garcia. Now to his bad horse. Back up on top to Moffitt. Swings it over to Fields again, who pushed her way to the top. Looking for Coonsey down low. Couldn't find it. Garcia to Moffitt. Moffitt in a phone booth. Hits a three-pointer. No good. Rattles out. Rebound pulled down by Dubenfield and the Clippers. Matzeski pushing it back up the court. Swings it over in the corner to Evans. Looking down low. Nothing available. She'll push it back up. Picks up her dribble. Enns is the only one open. And she'll finally force it over to Wells. Wells drives. She's going to be blocked by his bad horse. Going to be Moffitt all alone on the breakaway after the pass from Garcia. Lays it up and in. 2 more from Taylor Moffitt, who is showing up in a huge way here to start this third quarter. 57-29. Tetons racing here early. Up on top, swing it over to Dubenfield. Now to Enns. Turn around, little floater. That's up, no good. Blatant push underneath by Wells. No call. She forces it up. Coonsey with the rebound. They get it over into the hands of Field. She'll push it up now, hit the brakes, and allow Evans to blow by her. Tetons up by 28 here with 6:11 left to go in the third quarter. Garcia driving by a defender, throws it up off the glass, no good. Pulled down by Matzeski. She pushed it up the court. She's looking to drive on Fields, crosses over, has to step through, flips it up off the glass, and gets it a go. There's going to be a late whistle and a foul on the court. They're going to call it on Matzeski. They're going to call it on Wells. So it looks like that was on the rebound. So the bucket by Mazeski is good, and another 5 Briercrest players coming into the game. So Sunderland, Betty are back in the game, as well as Martins. Voth coming in on this shift, and she'll be joined over by Jordans. Moffitt has the ball, swinging around over to Garcia, looking to drive on Betty, crossing over. She'll lose a handle, momentarily flips it up to Moffitt. Moffitt throws it up from long range. That's going to be no good. Pulled down by Jordans. Tetons' long-distance shooting hasn't been there today, but they've been hit on every other facet. Pass into the corner for Voth. She takes one dribble, skip pass over to the corner to Betty. Thought about a three-pointer, didn't have enough time. Into Martins. Martins with an 8-foot jumper, no good. Pulled down by his bad horse, and she's going to be fouled as she tried to get the ball back in bounds. No, there's going to questionable call on that one. They're just going to say it's Teton ball. So they'll give it over to Williston State. 5:21 left to go in quarter number 3. Williston State up on top, 57-31 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Moffitt jogging the ball up the court. Voth meeting her at the half-court line. Now Moth, a little shimmy, gets it over to Fields on the far wing, up on top to Coonsey. Back to Moffitt. She's going to drive by Voth, and they miss a blatant two-handed shove by Voth, but Moffitt still strong enough to get it up and in. 2 more for Williston State, back up by 28. Screaming up the court is Sunderland. She tries to flip it down underneath, and there's going to be a jump ball called as his bad horse got her hand on top of Jordan's as she was putting the shot up. And a under 5 minute stop means there's going to be a media timeout. So a 1 minute timeout for us. We'll be back for more Teton basketball in 60 seconds.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
Micro back here for Teton basketball. 4:54 to go. Tetons have the ball up by 28. Coonsey gets it off to Moffitt. Looking for the curl route from Coonsey. She's going to put it up, and she'll be fouled as she goes up. That foul's going to be against Hope Jordans. That'll put Allison Coonsey to the stripe for a pair. That'll be number 3 on Jordan. But with the depth that Briercrest has, foul trouble is easily swallowed up by the rest of the reserves, and Coonsey knocks down the first free throw. The front half of the double bonus, or the 2-shot penalty, is good. Now 60-31. Coonsey with the chance to make it an even 30 here on the American State Bank scoreboard. Next one on the way. That one good as well. Tetons up by 30, 61-31. Back up the court comes Briercrest. Voth has it on the perimeter. Field turns her away. Voth with a spin move, gets down low on the baseline. She's caught up, skip pass over to Batty on the outside. She slips it down to the middle to Martins. Martins cut off by his bad horse, and she's going to be blocked by Coonsey. And are they going to call? No, they're going to say Coonsey stepped on the baseline as she was stumbling, trying to grab that rebound. So that'll be an inbound play coming to Briercrest underneath their own basket. So inbound play coming. Sunderland set to trigger underneath her own basket. Flashing underneath, couple trying to get good position is Jordan. They get it out on the perimeter to Martins. Martins drives as she's going to push down Moffitt, and that's an offensive foul. Taylor Moffitt, good defensive position. So that'll be going on Martins, picking up her foul. That's number 3 on her. So now some more foul trouble starting to loom for Briercrest. We'll see how long this unit stays out on the court. Taylor Moffitt, who started off with a bang in the second quarter. Long pass over to Kansas, his bad horse. Back to Moffitt. Garcia spotting up in the corner. They don't give it to her, up on top to Field. Moffitt back to Garcia, looking down low for Coonsey. Now back to Moffitt. Look to drive. She's cut off, and she's going to be fouled as Moffitt with a little bit of flair on that one. Went to spin, and she got caught up, and the ball went flying. So So that'll be a first personal foul on Victoria Voth. Fourth team foul. So that was the last foul that Briercrest had to give here in the corner. Up on top, it'll go to Garcia, looking for his bad horse in the corner for three. In and out, and in it goes. Kansas, his bad horse with a triple. And that will be three more for Williston State. Back up the court comes Briercrest. And there's going to be a foul called on Taylor Moffitt, a little bit too aggressive on the defensive end. And that'll put her in a little bit of foul trouble here with 3:52 left to go in the quarter. Just her second foul. Martin set to check in on the next stop. Inbound pass goes up on top to Sunderland. She'll get it over to Beatty. Three ball is going to be airballed. Coonsey comes down with it. They'll get it over to Field. Moffitt was running the court, but it was too close of a window. She gets it over to Garcia instead. Picks up a screen from Moffitt. Give and go isn't there. Up on top to hit bad horse. Swings it over to Field. She works her way up on top of the perimeter. Picks up a dribble up on top to Coonsey. Coonsey looking to go back to Moffitt for three from the wing. In and out, no good. They'll be pulled down by Voth, and she'll put it on the deck and race up the court. It'll be steal by Field, and she gets tackled by Voth. Entry pass underneath, it's going to go. Kicks out to the outside to Voth, and there's going to be a travel called on Jordans before the pass was completed. Here comes two more Tetons and five more Clippers. Out is going his bad horse and Coonsey for Williston State. In is coming Harris and Murritson. So Briercrest with their new five on the court. Fields get the ball. She'll race it up for Williston State. Have it on the perimeter. She'll be guarded again by Ellis. Up on top, Harris now with a three-pointer of her own, and that one is up and in. Cammie Harris takes the lid off, and the Tetons keep on extending. 67-31. Meriton is going to be called for a travel, and that'll turn it back over to Williston State. Here with 2:54 left to go in quarter number three. Inbound play coming. Moffitt racing through. She hits the brakes and is allowed to get the inbound pass behind the back dribble to get away from Meriton. Works her way, pushes. She hit the brakes again. Hands the ball off to Harris. Harris works her way around. Big screen from Coonsey. Give and go. A little missed time. Coonsey's able to get it. She'll put it on the deck. Put it up, and that one just roll off the limb. No good. And that'll go down to Meriton and Briercrest. They'll push it back up the court. Now swinging over on the outside to Bestwither. We go underneath. Two-point shot up. No good by Wells. Pulled down by Moffitt. Back comes Williston State. Long pass to Coonsey. She's going to go. Throw it up. No good. Fields with the rebound. Coonsey looks like she is gassed out there, logging heavy minutes here today. Harris on the wing. Up on top to Moffitt. Meriton with a long ball. That's going to be off the glass. Hit the rim. No good. Pulled down by Ellis. Ellis will get it back up to Matzeski. She'll be guarded by Field. Entry pass on the top. High post to Wells. Back to Matzeski. Turns the corner. She's cut off by Moffitt. Back up on top to Ellis. Swing pass on the outside. Back up to Ellis. She's going to look to drive. Euro step through, and she's going to be fouled by Coonsey, who tried to strip the ball but got some arm. That'll be another team foul on Williston State. Their fourth team foul, their last to give, and Coonsey picks up her third. Moffitt's going to check out of the game for Williston State. And coming in for her is Tia Conradson. Melissa Ellis at the stripe for a pair. Ellis taking her time. Next one on the way. That one is up and good. So Ellis completes the front half. Now 67-32. Tetons still up by 35. Here with a minute 48 left to go in the third quarter. Ellis again at the line. That one up and good. 2 for 2 from the stripe. Coonsey with the inbound pass. She'll get it over to Conradson. She has wide open spaces racing down the court. Gets across the timeline. She'll get it off to Fields now to set up the offense. Harris with a quick three from the wing, and that one takes a high bounce. No good. Pulled down by Enns. We'll put it on the deck as Tetons get back on defense. No, there's going to be a steal from Fields. Here she goes. She's all alone and lays it up and in. Elizabeth Fields with the basket. 69-33. Tetons on the high side. Matzeski into the corner to Ellis. Back on to Wells in the high post. And it's Ellis driving. Steps through. A little floater up and kisses off the glass and in. Melissa Ellis has the last four straight points. And Ellis gets a steal and puts another basket up and in. So Ellis now with 6 straight points for the Clippers. Bounce pass over to Harris. She'll cross over on a defender and work her way up the court. Behind her back dribble, slips by 2 more defenders, and the crowd goes wild over to Conradson. Over to Morrison, back to Conradson, up on top to Field. Now back to Harris. pump fake, got a defender in the air, slip pass over to Coonsey underneath. Now, pass now to Conardson from range, that's up, no good. Coonsey with the rebound, power dribble, and she's going to be fouled, and that's going to be 2 shots either way. So Coonsey at the line as Tetons are up 69-37. There's been a rush back by Briercrest. They've scored now 4 straight and 6 of the last 8 points in the game. Ellis coming out of the game along with 3 other players for the Clippers. So Evans back in the game as well as Coonsey at the line for 2. Her first one is up and good. So Coonsey 1 for 1 so far from the stripe. Next one coming on the way. Her second rattles out, no good. 1 for 2, that trip down the court. That'll be 70-36 now. The Tetons on the high side. Back up the court come the Clippers. Moving their way around, trying to find an angle. Good drive. Conardson on good defense. Gets it down underneath. Conardson has a straight steal away. Just too strong. Rips it away from the guard. Harris gets it up the field. Long pass. And that's Field blows it up and in for 2 more. So Elizabeth Field with 2 more points. Now the Tetons up 72-36, up to a 35-point lead. 8 seconds left to go in the quarter. Up on top it'll go. They'll swing it around. Last second, Conardson trying to close out. Heave at the buzzer will be no good. And the Tetons will come away with the third quarter lead by the final 72-36. We're going to step away for a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter action here from the Well in Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billy. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug Toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. It is Briercrest ball here to start the fourth quarter. And there's going to be a stoppage here right before we get going. It was a shot clock issue. So we'll have that resolved. It'll be now an inbound pass from in front of the Briercrest bench. Inbounding the ball will be Beatty. He'll be joined out there with Matherns, Ellis. Also down there is Jordan's. Up on top once again is Sunderland's. Sunderland has it on top. She finds, goes to Martins on top. Back to Sunderland, swings it over to Ellis. Ellis, long pass along the baseline to Beatty. She's cut off. She gets a high post pass to Jordan. She's swift away. Coming away with it is Harris. Long baseball pass over to Conradson, and just too hard to get it out of bounds. Coach Triplett said, hey, put a little arc on that pass. Makes it a lot easier for your teammates to catch up to. Now the Tetons being down in a 2-3 defense. Conradson in there with Carlander. Also Harris, Merrittson, and his bad horse on the court for Wilson State. Looking for an entry pass down low to Martins. Can't find it. They get up to Jordan's on the high post. Swing it back to Ellis over in the corner to Beatty. She's going to take a three-pointer off the back of the iron, but she'll get her own rebound. Barrel her way in there. It's going to be stripped away from Jordan's by Martins. We'll get it up to Harris, who'll march it up the court. 9:05 left to go in the game. Tetons up 72-35. Carlander moving it around. Harris in the corner. Thought about a three-pointer. She's a dangerous three-point shooter here. Get it underneath to Merrittson. And she goes a nice pump fake. Puts a second chance up and good. Tetons up now 74-37. And a reach-in foul by Tia Conradson on a driving Dory Sunderland. Will be the first foul of the quarter 8:41 left to go. Inbound play coming for the Clippers. Sunderland set to trigger. Looking to get an option who to get it off to. So Sunderland still looking. They get it underneath, and a good position made by Martins, but she misses the three-footer. Harris gets it over to Conradson, who puts it up, misses it, but Meriton gets the rebound, and that goes up and in. Tilda Meriton with two more, and that one off the offensive rebound. 39-point lead for the Tetons. Beatty on the baseline drive. She's going to get through. She'll be fouled by his bad horse. That'll put Maddie Beatty to the line for a pair of shots with 8:20 left to go. Garcia set to check back in. She's gotten a good break. And now Garcia will enter the game. She'll come in for Harris. As the second personal on Conradson. Second team foul on the Tetons. And Beatty at the line for the pair. First one is going to be up and good. She'll have one more coming. Down to a 38-point deficit here. Remainder 8:20 left to go in the game. Beatty again from the stripe. This one in and out, no good. Rebound by Jordan. Can't hold on to it. Into the hands of his bad horse. And back come the Tetons. Conradson bringing up the court. Crossing over on Sunderland across the timeline. 8:10 left to go in the game. Over it goes to Carlander. She picks up a screen. Give and go isn't there. Gets knocked away from her. Martin over to Conradson. She's going to drive baseline. She's going to drive all the way through. Reverse layup up and good. Tia Conradson with a reverse layup to put the Tetons up by 40 points. 78-30. Here comes Beatty. Head and shoulder fake. Garcia hits the deck on a screen. Gets it over into the hands of Jordans. Rebound goes to Carlander and the Tetons. Carlander brings it up the court. She's going to drive. Kicks it over to his bad horse. Up on top. It's going to go to Conradson. Long shot up by Conradson. No good. Carlander just about got a steal there. Here comes Ellis up the court for the Clippers. She'll get through, and there's going to be a foul. That one's going to go against... Looked like it was a foul there, but it looks like they may just call a travel on Ellis. So more 5-on, 5-off for Briercrest. 7:26 left to go in the game. Back up the court comes Garcia. Working her way, setting up the offense. Now over goes, swinging up on top to his bad horse. Back to Garcia. Thought about a three-pointer. Now waiting for something more to develop offensively. Underneath his bad horse again. Foul going to be called on ends on the reach-in. That'll be an inbounding play coming for Williston State underneath their own basket. First team foul of the quarter for Briercrest. Inbound pass. His bad horse gets it into Morton. Here's Garcia with a long shot, and that was a very deep three-pointer for Garcia. And as she continues her excellent play here this season for Williston State. Winceski is going to get it now over to Voth. High post, it'll go to Wells. She looks to drive. Pass it out to Voth on the baseline. Garcia charged out on the challenge. Forced the path down underneath the Voth. She got lost in the shuffle, and she'll put it up and good. So Victoria Voth with the 2-point. Good ball movement. And long is going to go to Carlander, who will put it up and in. Therese Carlander with 2 points in transition. Williston State back up by 43. Voth with a push three-pointer, and she's going to get the friendly bounce and get it to go from range. 83-43. Garcia gets it underneath to his bad horse, and that is put up and in. Kansas, his bad horse with the bucket. Both teams now running the length of the court at will here the last few possessions. Nowitzki slowing things down, swings it over to Voss. Now cross court, it'll go back to Martin. She's going to be stolen away from Garcia, who pushed it up the court, trying to beat Voth. Now a little shimmy, gets it over into the court now for Williston State. Tetons holding on. It's going to be Conradson driving baseline, bounce pass, and there's going to be a block underneath on Briercrest. We'll see who it's on. As coming back in is Coonsey for Williston State. She'll go in for Kansas, his bad horse. And a new 5 players in there for Briercrest. That foul came on Beswitheric. Her first personal, second team foul. Conradson looking for a teammate. Get it up on top to Garcia. She'll set up the offense for Williston State. Could be over to Carlander. Back to Martson. Now Garcia on top. She'll pull it back. Here comes a Coonsey screen. Garcia driving. She's going to lose the ball, and there's going to be a travel called. Coach Triplett not sure how that's going to be a travel because Garcia lost control of the ball. It was popped out of her hands. That'll give it back to Briercrest here. 5.5 left to go. Briercrest swings it up on top the perimeter. On the perimeter, swinging around. Now on the outside, another three ball coming off the side of the iron. No good. Morrison pulls it down. They'll get it over to Moffitt on the outside. She'll push it up the court. Here with 5:16 left to go in the game. Tetons looking to salt away the remaining 5:10 left. Coonsey drives. She's going to get to the hoop. Up and good. Two more for Allison Coonsey. Tetons now up 87-43. Back up the court comes Briercrest. Long swing pass. Will go over on the outside to Daubenfield. Gets it underneath. 2-point shot is going to be up, and Martin, who stumbles after she came down with the rebound, will be called for the travel. And that'll be an under 5-minute stop. We'll have a media timeout, and we'll have a 1-minute break. And when we come back, 4:50 left to go. Tetons up by 43 points. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you'll not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your team takes the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Michael back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons are up by 43 points, 87-43 with, 44 points, 87-43 with 4:50 left to go in the game. Briercrest ball coming out of the timeout. They'll be inbounding from the baseline. Set to trigger is Klassen. He'll get the ball. Here comes the inbound play. Jordan's looking to get it up over the top. Little moving screen. Outside shot is going to be up and over everything off the hands of Daubenfield. And that'll be out of bounds off all the Clippers, giving it back to Williston State. Here with 4:45 left to go. Full court press coming for the Clippers. They'll get it into Garcia. She'll shift it over to Carlander, excuse me. Carlander back up on top to Garcia. She'll slow things down, set up the half-court offense. Now Conradson. She's going to be just about tripped up on top. Now go to Moline, who's freshly in the game. Three-pointer in there from Garcia. That's off the mark, no good. And it'll be Moline's going to just about have the ball. And it'll be a scramble for the ball on the ground. And there's going to be, they say it's going to be off of Williston State. With 4:19 left to go in the game, giving it back to Briercrest. Briercrest moving it up the court. We'll swing it over now onto the outside. Underneath, here comes a three-pointer from the outside. That's no good. Conradson coming away. It'll be tipped away from her. So we'll give it back to Williston State. 5 more substitutions coming on for Briercrest. So we'll have to see all who is on as they have gone 5 on, 5 off about every 3 minutes here throughout this whole ball game. Garcia bringing it back up the court for Williston State. Into the corner for Carlander. Three-pointer in and out, no good. Ends comes down to the board. She'll kick it off over to a guard. Back comes the Clippers. Into the hands of Wells on the high post. Lose the handle. Over onto the outside. Three-pointer up, no good. Coons with the rebound. Over goes to Garcia. Off to the races. One-on-one with Ends, and that's going to be up, no good. Garcia hits the deck, and coming back up, Coach Triplett thought that should have been a foul on Briercrest. But back here they come up, over to Ends on the low post. Coonsey with good defense, causes her to throw back out to Voth. Voth, cross court, will go over Besser with her. Now over to Wells. Wells on the drive. She'll pull up from 12 feet. That's up, no good. Scramble for the ball, and it'll be back to Voth. Cross the baseline, it'll go. Little shot. Coonsey with a huge block. And she's going to try to get it off to a guard, and there's going to be a push called on Voth with 3:11 left to go in the game. So Voth tried to fight for the rebound, just got over the back of Coonsey. Carlander looking to get the ball in. She'll get into Garcia. Garcia working her way up the court, across the timeline, 3:05 left to go. Coonsey at the high post. Garcia pushes over, hands it over to Carlander. And there's going to be a foul called on the Clippers here. A touch foul. That one was called on Bestlerwick. And she'll pick up another foul. That will be the 4th team foul. Inbound play coming up to Coonsey. She'll grab it, get it up on top to Conradson. Back in the corner, goes to Garcia for 3 from range. That one's off the mark, no good. And Conradson's going to track it down in the corner. Heaves it up. Coonsey comes down with it, but Voth is going to tip it out of her hands. Now a collision for it, and it's going to come away for the Clippers. Voth is going to push the ball up into the hands of Bestlerswick. She'll lose a handle. Conradson all upon her. A little no-look pass, heaving it over her shoulder. Gets it over to Wells. On the outside, 3-pointer from Sunderland, no good. And Garcia is going to tiptoe away to avoid the foul underneath to Wells. She'll force it up. That's another block by Coonsey underneath. The long, lanky forward for Williston State has 3 blocks so far in the game. Conradson, empty pass underneath to Carlander. That one's going to be knocked away. Racing up the court is going to be Sunderland. She dishes it off to Wells, off the top of the rim, and Coonsey's going to pick up the foul. That'll come with 2:08 left to go in the game. 2 more subs coming in for Briercrest. Out of the game is going Voth as well as Sunderland. Back in is Evans. And it'll be 2 shots coming at the line for Wells. First one's going to rattle in there and drop. She'll have one more. The second player coming into the game was Clausen. And there's going to be the officials whistle to bring in Harris, who's set to come in for Coonsey, who picked up her 4th foul, but they send her back to the bench. Second free throw up, no good, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Evans. It'll give the ball back to Williston State, so now Harris will be able to get into the game. She'll come in for Coonsey. Here, 2:06 left to go in the game. Inbound play goes to Carlander. Back to Garcia, who will march it up the court. She'll be met by Evans at the timeline. Garcia, fantastic ball handler, keeps it away over to Moline. Moline thought about a shot, step through, and she'll be called for the travel, trying to go for a jump stop step through, but they say she drug an extra foot. That'll be a turnover back to Briercrest. 1:52 remaining. Back up the court comes the Clippers. Up on the high post to Wells. Swings it over to Evans, lost a handle, regains control, tipped out of there by Conradson. Now up in the hands of Clausen. Trying to get it up on top. Conradson on the breakaway, trying to get through traffic. She'll slow it up. Thought about a 3-pointer. Get it up to Garcia on top. Now over to Harris. Harris from range. That one up and good. Cammie Harris with 3 more. Tetons extend the lead out 90-44. 1:25 to go in the game. Clausen swings it into the corner. Entry pass underneath. Going to be down to Wells. Wells turn around. She's going to be fouled by Moline. And that'll put Asia Wells at the line for a pair of shots with 1:15 left to go. Now it's the first on Moline. 4th team foul. Both teams with just 4 fouls in the quarter as Tetons now up 90-44. Next shot, first shot on the way by Wells is up and good. That'll make it 90-45. Tetons on the high side by 55 points. 55 points. Next one on the way, 45 points. I can't do math. 1:15 left to go. Second one from Wells is up and good. So 44-point lead for Williston State. Conradson bringing it up the court. Gets it over to Garcia. She'll push it to Harris on the near corner. Looking down low for Moline. It's going to be tipped away. Garcia gets it back. She fires from range. That is going to be no good. Enns comes down with the rebound over to Bestlerwick. Bestlerwick pushes it up the court. She gets it down low to Wells on a low block. Kicks it out to the perimeter to Clausen. Clausen up on top to Bestlerwick. Now to Evans in the near corner. Underneath to Enns. Gets it over to Conradson. Races up the court. She'll hit the brakes. Wait for help. Now over to Carlson. And that's going to be over to Garcia, who hobbling up the court with that ankle injury. And she'll come out of the game here with 36 seconds left to go. So hopefully that Allie Garcia is just tweak that injured ankle a little bit and will be good to go here. If not tomorrow, then next week for the suite of games that the Tetons have. 36 seconds left to go. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. The Tetons get a stop here. They'll be able to hold the last couple seconds out. Clausen inbounding it, looking for someone. She gets up to Wells, who has a pull away from the block. Beth Wicke behind the back dribble, steps through, throws it up off the boards, no good, and off the fingertips of Briercrest. With 29 seconds left to go, shot clock is off. They get the ball into Harris. She'll push it up the court across the timeline. That'll be tipped away over to Conradson. Conradson backing down, gets it underneath to Moline, puts it up, no good. Gets her own rebound, put up, no good. And that one's going to be a second opportunity, third opportunity, no good. Fourth opportunity, no good by both Moline and Carlander. 10 seconds left. Back comes Briercrest, which will be the last shot of the game. In the corner, Evans holds on to it, and she's going to let time expire. Tetons come away with the 44-point victory over Briercrest College, 90-46. We're going to take just a 1 minute timeout. When we come back, we will have the post-game show to give you all the stats for both teams. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Earning your degree doesn't mean putting your life on hold. Williston State College offers a wide array of Associate and Associate of Applied Science programs that fit your busy lifestyle. They are flexible, convenient, and career-focused to what your goals are, and taught by experienced and engaged faculty. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the demands of life on the farm, in the patch, or simply raising a family.
Williston State College, where the people make the difference. Please visit online at willistonstate.edu/apply.
American State Bank and Trust Company in Williston is proud to support area students, whether high school or college. We salute the dedication of all those involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Your hard work and dedication show on the field and in the classroom. ASB has accounts to fit a student's busy lifestyle too. Check it out at asbc.com. That's banking the American State way. Member FDIC.
Michael back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Williston State fresh off their 90-46 win over Briercrest. We'll take a look at the Briercrest scoring. Starting things off, and no Briercrest player eclipsed double digits in the game. Asia Wells led Briercrest in scoring with 9. Maddie Beatty with 6 in the game. Also, Melissa Ellis with 6, and Brooklyn Martins with 6 points. Ellis, who had a very athletic player out there, just missed a couple of big three-pointers in that very close first quarter. And then she had 6 straight points for Briercrest in this third quarter. And that was before the Tetons really put their foot down and really came away with this game in a big fashion. 5 points coming in from Victoria Voth, 4 points from Dory Sunderland, 3 points in from Kiana Enns, also Claire Dubenfeld, 2 points from Hannah Matzeski, and 2 points from Hope Jordans for Briercrest in the game. Taking a look over for scoring for Williston State, as they had a very close first half and first quarter, but then cruised it out. They had a 22-point halftime lead and extended it to as many as 45 points in the game. They're led in scoring by Taylor Moffitt. She had 19 points. Allie Garcia with 14. Elizabeth Field with 13. Kansas Hisbat Horse with 11. Cammie Harris with 11. Tilda Moritzen with 10. Allison Coonsey with 8. And then 2 points each from Tia Conradson and Therese Carlander. And try as they might down at the end there, they could not get a bucket for Alexis Moline, as she had missed a couple of short ones there in the waning seconds of the game. So the Tetons came away with a big, big victory. And looking at the Tetons and who they have on the course, one of the advanced stats that we can look at here is the plus-minus. Shows how much a player out on the court and how much more your team scored over the other team. It was Tilda Morrison. She was a plus 40 today in the game. So in her minutes of play, she had a fantastic outing, scoring 10 points. So that's going to be it for the post-game wrap-up here, this Teton victory. We're going to step away for just a 30-second timeout. We are going to be back here tomorrow, but before we do, we're going to bring you the Williston Auto Player of the Game. We'll be back for the Williston Auto Player of the Game in 30 seconds.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price, sell, cars, at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Time to announce the Williston Auto Player of the Game, and that's going to go to Taylor Moffitt for her 19 points in the game, including a pair of three-pointers, and she was key to those Tetons getting out to the races and running late in that second quarter to stretch what was at one point a 6-point lead after it got knocked down from 15 out to a 22-point halftime lead here at the Well in Williston. So congratulations to Taylor for being named the Williston Auto Player of the Game. That's it for this edition of Teton Basketball. We're going to be back here at the Well in Williston tomorrow as Teton men's and women's basketball will be taking on Rocky Mountain JV as more of this Teton Booster shootout continues tomorrow. So both Teton men's and women's teams will be playing Rocky Mountain JV. The women will start at 4:30 p.m. Men are scheduled for 6:15 p.m. Both games will be over on Dakota Country 96.1. So tune your dials over to KYYZ or DakotaCountry961.com to listen to all the Teton action. I'd like to thank Jaden and Emma back at the stations for keeping us on the air and sounding good, as well as all of you for tuning into this and every edition of Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio. Until next time, sports fans, I'm Mike Ruder.